Welcome to the Metal Verbalizers podcast, a podcast about promoting underground metal by talking about and sometimes with underground metal bands that we really like. We feel that underground metal generally seems very underrepresented in podcasting, and there are a lot of great bands out there. So underground metal is the focus of this podcast. In this type of episode, we choose a band and talk about things such as influences, style, lyrics, future plans, etc. in order to give you an introduction and an idea of what the band is like, hopefully encouraging you to listen to their music and look into them further. I'm Johan Verbalizer, and this episode will be dedicated to the band Ordered to Kill. Ordered to Kill is a thrash metal band from Brazil and was started in 2021. But the idea of Ordered to Kill began already in 2010. But back then it was mostly an idea and hadn't really developed yet into an actual proper band. Ordered to Kill remained like this until 2021, when the vocalist and bassist Jan Seth met the drummer Lincoln. This is the moment that the band members themselves consider as the moment when Ordered to Kill became the band it is today. Ordered to Kill is mainly influenced by old school thrash metal bands and new wave of British heavy metal bands, a few examples being bands such as Exodus, Dark Angel, Venom, Agent Steel, Hellhammer and Tyson Dog, as well as bands like Thrash or Die and At War. If you enjoy thrash metal that is very aggressive, then I think that you'll enjoy Ordered to Kill a lot. Personally, I would describe their sound as being very aggressive thrash metal, but not going quite as far as being considered extreme metal. Like, I won't necessarily call them death thrash, black thrash, or something like that. When it comes to the vocals, for example, there might be better examples for this, but on the top of my head right now, they kind of remind me of bands like Evil and Warbringer a little bit. The vocals of Ordered to Kill doesn't really sound like the vocals of Evil or Warbringer, but I don't know, it is something with how the vocals are performed that made me think of these bands a little bit. I guess my point is that if you like the vocals of Evil and Warbringer, I believe that you would definitely like the vocalist of Ordered to Kill. Personally, I really like the vocals, and I feel that it fits great with the music of Ordered to Kill. If you're familiar with the band Thrash or Die and their logo, it probably doesn't come as a big surprise that the logo of Ordered to Kill is very inspired by that logo. I believe this since it was kind of the case for me personally. I've been familiar with Thrash or Die before discovering Ordered to Kill, and I made this connection myself before I was told that the logo actually was meant to be inspired by the band Thrash or Die. Of course, there is a very clear resemblance with the overall shape of the two logos, but the resemblance doesn't stop there actually. Both logos have the name written in 3 rows. In the second row, one band has the word OR, and the other band has the word TO, which are 2-letter words that look very alike. In the third row, one band has Die, and the other has Kill, which is also similar, but in a different way. But regardless of all these similarities with the names themselves, it's actually not how Ordered to Kill came up with the name. The official origin of the name, as described by the band, is from the band called At War, which has a song and album called Ordered to Kill. Considering that At War is a very great influence for the band Order to Kill, and the members found the name very impactful, they decided to use it as their band name. So that's actually the origin of the name. I personally agree that it is very impactful, and I also feel that it's a very fitting name for a thrash metal band such as Order to Kill is. While Order to Kill doesn't really have one specific theme that their lyrics revolve around, like some other bands have, the lyrics tend to deal with subjects such as disease, urban violence, religious farce, and even Satanism to a certain degree. I would however like to also mention the song Metal Command, which is not a cover of the Exodus song Call That, by the way. The lyrics of this song include some references to other bands, or well, at least albums by other bands. I personally really like the idea behind this. I can't really explain why exactly, but I don't know, it's something about it being very clever and cool that I really like. To give you an example from this song, it goes something like bonded by blood, pleasure to kill, possessed by fire, Metal Command, which are of course referring to Exodus, Creator, and Exhumer albums. When it comes to the future of Order to Kill, the band is currently hard at work making an album. The band mentioned that the album doesn't have a title yet, which, at least to me, suggests that it is still at a very early stage. This is, however, just speculation from me. The band didn't give me any more details about the album, so I can't really say much more about it, unfortunately. What I can say, however, is that I strongly encourage you to keep your eyes open for it, because I have a great feeling about it. To me, it seems like this album is the band's main focus right now, since that is the thing they mentioned to me about their upcoming plans. These are my thoughts and comments about the band, but now I would like to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Order to Kill? Do you have a favorite song by them? If so, which one? Let us know in the YouTube comments or on social media. We have now reached the end of this episode. If you enjoyed this podcast, we would really appreciate your support. A great way to support us is by liking, commenting, and sharing, as well as rating us on Spotify. We really love to read comments about the podcast, as well as your thoughts and opinions about the bands we feature. These comments encourage us a lot, and they will also help the podcast technically, thanks to how the algorithms work. And we believe that if this podcast gets discovered by more people, this will help the bands we feature to also get discovered by more people. So this is a quick, free, and easy way that you can support the podcast and underground metal in general. So we would be very thankful for this. We will be back to Verbalize again next week.